OffTheFieldSports.com, Blake Hoagland. We're here with Joltin Joe Ford, Vanderbilt University and Mayfield High School alumni. It's good to have you here, Joe.
Welcome to Paducah.
Thank you. It's my first time being here, and I've enjoyed it so far. Starting off right now, you're in Paducah. I'm working as a Northwestern mutual insurance agent down here. And let's start talking about, let's go from that and talk about the days of the KHSA Hall of Fame. I noticed up there you were a Sunkist Prep All-American in '71 and '72. How was it back then, getting those accolades and accomplishments?
Well, that was my senior year at Mayfield, and I'm assuming back then we probably had 4 grades of 500-600 people, so we weren't a big school. I actually made 2 first-team All-American teams that year, which is pretty hard to do out of Mayfield. But I was very lucky. I started playing, and I started my freshman year all the way to my senior year. My coaches always took us to Louisville or Lexington or had them come to Mayfield. So my name, I got exposure from a young age. We played really good teams, and fortunately in those games I always played very well. And I guess my senior year we were like 29-3, but we played, I believe, 4 Louisville schools and or Lexington away and 2 at home, and we only lost 1 game. So I was able to get my name in the state first of all my junior year, and then came back my senior year. And it's kind of hard to do that. I mean, if you look at some of the people that were on that team and went on and played in the pros, some were small schools, but a lot were big cities.
I guess you have to do that, coming from a small school like Mayfield. Back in those days, your coach probably in their best interest doing that, taking you all to Louisville and Lexington, place like that, and showing them what kind of talent there was at Mayfield High School. At the time, you were very good at basketball and obviously very good at football. What sport did you like better?
Probably baseball of the 3.
Baseball.
And of the 3, I was probably better in baseball. And I played 1 year at Vanderbilt, and we actually won the SEC tournament. I played very little. We made it to we were 1 inning away from the College World Series that year, and we gave up 3 runs in the bottom of the inning. We didn't go. We came back my next year. I was a sophomore at Vanderbilt. We won the SEC in basketball. By the time we finished, they had already been into 20 games. It was just too much to do. But football, again, it was such a tradition in Mayfield that in the 4th and 5th grade, you knew you were going to play football. I played football because of that. The reason I made All-State in football was the school, the tradition, the other players around me. I got some accolades, but I did try out for the Dallas Cowboys in football.
Huge Cowboys fan.
Really?
I'm a huge Cowboys fan.
Well, that was back in Tom Landry, and there was a guy named, I believe, Gil Brandt, who was head of player. Every year when I was in college, they would pick 3 college basketball players who had played football, and they would give them a tryout and invite 1 to camp. I went through the tryout. Fortunately, I didn't make it, so I didn't have to wear pads and get killed. But it was kind of cool just to say you did it and see what it was like.
Oh, definitely.
But basketball was, I spent my time and effort, practiced the most. Football was because of the school and the people around us, and we were a small school. Everybody played as many sports as they could.
Well, an intriguing story that you were telling me before we came in was the letters. You got your wife to frame all your letters. You've gone back and retrieved some of those to frame them. Tell us a little bit about you were telling me the Bobby Knight. That was a very, very impressive little tidbit from Bob Knight that he sent you, and the letters that you're going to frame and put up there and what they've said.
Well, again, back in those days, the coaches or assistant coaches actually came to your high school, to your community, and watched your games. We played a regional tournament game one year, and we had like 10 Division I coaches there, and they were all in probably the top 25 in the nation. There was a lot of communication, obviously no internet back there, so it was all through letters. And I'd kept the letters for years and years, and actually would start to throw them away, and finally my wife Kim decided, why don't we frame some of them? And you would get one from Johnny Wooden or Coach Rupp or Coach Hall or Dean Smith, kind of the Hall of Fame ones that had written you. And most of them would ask you, how's your senior year going? Hope you're having a good year. Say hello to your mom and dad. We're having a good year also. Well, the one from Coach Knight is a classic. It starts off by saying, just got in from a road trip to Michigan, played poorly, played no defense, didn't block out, just like I would anticipate him talking to you. So that's one of the ones we included in the frame that we're gonna put up here.
So just Bobby Knight being Bobby Knight.
Exactly.
Well, Mr. Ford, it's been a pleasure having you on offthefieldsports.com. Thank you for having us here.
Thank you and Reese for coming to Paducah. You're welcome anytime.
Well, I've enjoyed it so far, and I appreciate it, sir.
Thank you.